It was very, very fascinating. There were good results out there, and the football it was very, very
Yeah,
impressive.
as impressive as always. So remember, you can join us live on YouTube at GOU Radio 1069 FM and on Facebook at 1069 Going the Radio. And you're going to be seeing myself, Chike and Maduka in the studio. All right. So, Maduka, you were actually gingering things. So, tell me, what's the general assessment of yesterday? We are into the quarterfinals now, right?
Of course, and the reason why I was gingering actually is because Premier League, they tend to overrate their league, and once again it was exposed because 4 out of the 6 teams that qualified for the knockout stages has been eliminated. Tottenham is gone. I think Man City is gone. 4 of the teams they have been eliminated. Only Liverpool and Arsenal managed to qualify. So I'm not a big fan of the Premier League. So and I hate the fact they overrate themselves. So yesterday's matches it was like this round of 16 was actually a reality check for the Premier League.
But yeah, you already said now you're a biased pundit when it comes to Premier League. But then at least now kudos to Arsenal for making it to the quarterfinals, isn't it?
It was something we expected them to do,
Okay.
because they were coming up against a not so informed Bayer Leverkusen team. Currently, Bayer Leverkusen sits sixth in the Bundesliga. They're not having the best of seasons. So Arsenal are already the anointed champions of the Premier League. If they keep on doing what they are doing currently and winning matches, I don't think anything is going to stop them from winning Premier League. So it was expected that they were going to cruise past Bayer Leverkusen.
All right. Okay, let's look at the fixtures for the quarterfinals and the dates, and then I want to know what you think about what we should be expecting days. All right. We have the quarterfinals first leg begins on Tuesday, April 7th, and then we have the Sporting CP versus Arsenal, and that's Sporting Lisbon versus Arsenal. And on Wednesday, April 8th, we'll be having Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid at Camp Nou. Right? And then on Tuesday, April 14th, we'll be having Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona. Right, at this Civitas Metropolitano Madrid. That's home for Atletico Madrid.
Yes.
And then Wednesday, April 15th, we'll be having Arsenal versus Sporting Lisbon at Emirates Stadium, London. So let's go back to let's look at Arsenal versus Sporting Lisbon, the first leg. So
I feel these fixtures, like, it favors Arsenal a lot.
Okay.
Imagine after beating an out of form Bayer Leverkusen, you are given the chance to play against Sporting Lisbon. Everybody is expecting the same results. Arsenal is meant to qualify from this particular fixture against Sporting Lisbon. How? I don't know. They might decide to keep it to the second leg like they did against Bayer Leverkusen, but I still believe Arsenal has everything it takes to progress past
enter the semi-finals.
Of course.
Well, we just hope so. I'm actually not an Arsenal fan, but man, these guys, sometimes I pity the fans.
This is a club that has given us premium moments. Like, they have endured their banter era with pride.
Yeah.
And I think
somebody once say premium moments of disappointment.
Of course, they have
of heartbreaks.
They have gone through all levels of disappointment. Coming second for 3 seasons, it can be very frustrating. But I think this season they're going to get the job done. And the fixtures in the Champions League is quite soft for their standards. So I think they're going to cruise past Sporting Lisbon.
All right. Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich, and of course, what's the expectation on this one?
It is going to be a very complicated match. You can't say this person is going to win or the other person is going to win. For some reasons, if you go down history books, Real Madrid always turns up against Bayern Munich. No matter how informed Bayern Munich is, Real Madrid has posed to be a formidable opponent. Whether Madrid is in form or out of form, they always come through. Let us not forget that I think 3 seasons ago, Madrid beat them in the semi-finals en route to the Champions League, winning the Champions League that season. So I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining fixture, because we were expecting Man City to come loggerheads against this out-of-form Madrid side, and see how it ended. But Madrid ended up teaching Man City a sporting lesson. And I think they have learned their lesson. Madrid they take Champions League personal.
Well, yeah, they take it personal, but now, in the world of football, yeah, some people argue that, of course, history comes to play most times, but then we still see when history really don't matter.
Yes, like as Wenger always says, this is football. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
It's always open to any possibility. You understand? But this Madrid Bayern Munich is going to be match of the quarterfinals. Everybody is going to be glued to their screen to see what's going to happen in that match, because Bayern Munich now, they are looking indefatigable. Like they are looking like a team you can't beat. Imagine the aggregate score against Atalanta in this knockout stages was 10-2. 10-2. They decimated Atalanta. It's pathetic because Atalanta was the only Serie A side that qualified for the knockout stages, and they were very, very, very much embarrassed.
All right, let's look at what do you think about Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona, the first leg?
It's going to be a replay of the Copa del Rey semi-finals.
All right.
Because Atletico Madrid played Barca over 2 legs in the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey, which Atletico Madrid qualified after playing Barcelona 4-0 in the first leg in their home. Then second leg, Barca won 3-0, and Atletico Madrid qualified because they qualified with the difference of 1 goal. So it's actually going to be a replay of that semi-finals. And Diego Simeone said that it's always interesting to face Barcelona because you don't know which Barcelona is going to turn up. But we always know that Barcelona is a very...
I like that. We don't know which Barcelona that would.
Of course, because the first leg, imagine Atletico Madrid winning them 4-0. And second leg, they came to play and they won 3-0. Unfortunately, they were knocked out of the Copa del Rey. And Diego Simeone said he's looking forward to playing Barcelona again. But I don't think that Barca will be an easy match for Atletico Madrid this time around.
All right, and then what do you think about Liverpool versus Paris Saint-Germain?
I think Paris Saint-Germain is going to qualify. It's as simple as that.
All right, you don't even.
I'm not. I think Paris Saint-Germain is going to qualify. It's as simple as that.
You're not even giving Liverpool any of these Premier League teams
at all. Because, come on, look at it. Paris Saint-Germain. Look at what they did to Chelsea. They battered Chelsea home. They battered them away. Both in Stamford Bridge and Parc des Princes, they battered Chelsea. Before Chelsea will recover, I think it's going to take them a very long time. Imagine winning Chelsea 8-2, 8-3 on aggregate. That was an absolute embarrassment.
Big one.
So I don't think this out of form Liverpool team under Ancelotti that's currently looking tactically clueless is going to make any difference against this informed Paris Saint-Germain side. I think Paris Saint-Germain is going through.
All right, thank you so much, Maduka, for that. All right, and then let's hope. We are looking forward to see how it turns out, actually, because yesterday was electrifying. So let's see how the quarterfinals turns out. All right, let's look at some of the stories making rounds in the world of sports, but we will still be in the world of football. Okay, AFCON, reactions are still trailing the decision of CAF.
Chike,
the embarrassing decision of CAF.
I don't understand.
And
how
this is just global outrage. Everybody's actually saying that Jamie Carragher is correct.
Not just Jamie Carragher. You know, there was a time Jurgen Klopp, when he was still the Liverpool manager, made a similar statement about AFCON.
And everybody just came for him. They wanted to
because we wanted to protect our own.
Yeah.
Nobody will say that about the Euros. Nobody will say that even about the Copa America. That is not as standard as the Euros. But we wanted to protect our own. But look at what is happening. It is a continental embarrassment.
Big time, actually.
A continental embarrassment. Because I've never seen this thing done before. The last time I saw a champion being stripped of their championship was the Calciopoli scandal that happened in Italy.
But that one is actually understandable because it has to do with a lot of corruption.
Yes. But this time around, everybody saw how that finals played out. We were all arguing that they gave Morocco, after what we watched, they awarded Morocco as the fair play of the tournament. Now, they have gone forward to award the title, the championship to Morocco. How is it helping the image of African football going into the World Cup? The World Cup is already around the corner, and instead of us as Africans preparing to go into the World Cup, our preparations are being marred by controversy. It doesn't speak good of African football, and I don't know where we go from here.
Seriously, I don't know where we go from here. But then one of the things that marveled me was, yes, CAF could be right about the rules, but the fact remains that sometimes you need to compromise to shelve to protect the image of the competition. Because every single thing is optics. Every single thing we are looking at is perhaps they are made appeal. It's against the CAF rule. basically. But there are other ways they can go around it.
Many ways.
Not 3 months after the competition. Get almost 3 months after the competition, you are stripping them of the whole thing.
And some Moroccan players, their clubs, they have gone to their social media handles to congratulate their players on winning the AFCON. I don't know how that pans out well with them, and I don't know if any player would want to win a medal like this. But it doesn't speak well of African football. And going into the World Cup, I don't really know how it's going to look for us. I don't know how it's going to look for us, because even Senegal they said they are going to appeal the decision. They said they are going to appeal the decision.
Now my question has always been, so if they appeal the decision and they win the appeal, what now happens? They will now give it back to Senegal.
For the second time. For the second time. That's why everybody, even people of African descent that are nationalities of other countries, they are complaining. They are complaining that this is ruining the image of African football. A lot has been said about African football, and it is our duty as Africans to protect the image of African football. Why are we now then ruining the image on the global level by ourselves?
On the global level, that's absurd. That's very absurd. All right, let's talk about the Super Eagles. Our hopes of going to the World Cup has actually been dashed.
I wasn't expecting anything different, honestly.
Even me, I wasn't. Like seriously, I wasn't expecting. Even if they gave it to us, I would have been disappointed. Why should we go to that level of competition through the back door? For crying out loud, we struggle to qualify. Let's face the consequences of it.
We put ourselves in that position. We had everything it took to qualify from the group we found ourselves. Imagine South Africa, Benin, and we are struggling to make top 2. Even when we struggled to make top 2, we now went to the playoffs and lost to DR Congo. With all due respect to DR Congo, they have good players.
But we understand. We are not at the same level
at all.
We're not at the same level.
When you look at Nigerian players, go to all the big clubs in Europe. There's always a Nigerian player there,
of course,
and our players, they are doing well across the globe. But when it comes to the country, I don't really know. But we put ourselves in this position. And
but do you think we still, because the buck should still stop at the table of the coach? Because look at it now, Eric Chelle. Okay, yesterday I read the news. Was it yesterday? It was actually the day before yesterday during Good Morning City. I read the news where NFF is mulling the idea of giving Eric Chelle an improved contract of $100,000 per month. In as much as Eric Chelle was actually demanding $120,000. But do you think Eric Chelle actually deserves that level of increments? So far, tactically speaking, with what he has done with the Super Eagles. Because the World Cup was supposed to be part of his assessment.
Of course. It was supposed to be part of his assessment, and I was very, very disappointed that we didn't qualify for the World Cup. If I was expecting Nigeria to finish first in that group, so we don't have to go through this rigorous means of qualify.
And that group
playoffs.
wasn't even a group of death.
Hard. It wasn't hard, but we fumbled it, and that is why. Eric Chelle, he's currently, there are suitors. Tunisia, they want him. There are people that want him, and he's currently assessing his options. So I think the power is in his hands to choose what he will do next.
Yes. Well,
but during the AFCON, after watching some matches like against Algeria, he did well.
Okay.
The tactics worked. And against Morocco too, he did exceptionally awesome. The tactics worked. And because if a match goes down to the penalties, it can go anyway. So, but I think he did a good job. But does it amount to that kind of pay rise? I don't know. I can't really tell.
The money isn't actually just for him. It's still because NFL won't be paying his assistants. It's from the money he will pay his assistants.
Yeah, if it goes that way, then I feel it's well deserved. It's well deserved.
All right, this is still Sports Cafe right here on 106.9 FM Go Uni Radio, and we are talking a lot about what's happening in the world of sports. And unfortunately, there's one unfortunate thing I noticed. Some of our star players won't be making it to the quarterfinal. I was so disappointed that someone like Osimhen,
he broke his arm in the process. So I don't.
Won't be going up to the quarterfinals, but that's like we have other seasons. All right, let's move away a bit from the world of sports. Let's look at what's happening in the world of boxing. Joshua returns to training camp with Usk's team. All right, the story has it that Joshua has stepped up his preparations for a summer comeback by returning to full training camp, linking up to the team of former unified heavyweight world champion Alexander Usyk as he closes in on his first fight since the horror car crash in Nigeria in December. The British-Nigerian boxer last fought on December 19 when he stopped Jake Paul in 6 rounds in Miami, but his career was thrown into uncertainty just days later when he was involved in a fatal road crash on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway that claimed the lives of his friends, personal trainer Kevin Ayodele, and recovery therapist Shina Gami. Joshua survived the accident but has since been in physical recovery while also mourning the loss of his 2 close friends. Having begun his return to light training as Finchley Amateur Boxing Club, his first gym, Joshua has now rejoined trainer Lego Golop, who is a long-standing member of Usyk's coaching setup and who first worked with Joshua during his 6th round stoppage of Paul. Golop began working with Joshua last year after the 36-year-old parted ways with Ben Davison following his defeat to Daniel Dubois in September 2024. All right, promoter Eddie Hearn had signaled that Joshua was closing in on a return to full camp, expressing confidence that the former champion was mentally and physically ready to throw himself back into the structural environment of professional boxing preparation. All right, so Joshua had originally been scheduled to fight in Saudi Arabia in March before the crash disrupted those plans. Hearn now expects a comeback fight in July with a blockbuster showdown against Tyson Fury, which respected Telegraph boxing correspondent Gareth A. Davis recently revealed has been signed, penciled in for later in the year. Fury himself returns to actions on April 11 against Aslanbek Makudov at Tottenham's Stadium. Maduka, what do you think of this, of Joshua's recovery and then his upcoming fight with?
His last fight before the unfortunate accident in Lagos was against YouTuber Jake Paul. That was his last fight, and the reason why I have mixed feelings about this is the fact that Jake Paul survived 1 round. I never expected Jake Paul to see the next round, but I hope and I pray that Joshua comes back in the best version of himself and takes up from there, because he needs that big win and he needs to get back on track, because both Joshua and Tyson Fury are 2 boxers that needs a shot at redemption with the kind of results they've had for some time now. But I hope that Joshua comes back better than before.
All right, we just hope that he comes back better than before. All right, before we wrap it up, because we are running a short of time, let's look at some of the fixtures for tomorrow. Right, so beginning from Premier League. We have Bournemouth facing Man United tomorrow. Fulham will be facing Burnley. On this one will be on Saturday, but tomorrow the major game we have tomorrow is Bournemouth facing Manchester United. And home right here in Nigeria, the Professional Premier League. We have for tomorrow's game we have Niger Tornadoes versus Rivers United. All right, let's see how it turns out. But most of the matches will be happening on Saturday.
Yeah, Bournemouth, Manchester United. I think Man U is an impeccable form now. They are flawless right now under Michael Carrick.
Yeah,
they've
third in the table actually.
I can't really say much. But everybody that watches football knows that this team is playing differently than it used to under Ruben Amorim, and you can see the changes. The man just came in and, is bringing out the best in all the players. They've won most of their matches, and you can see the change from competing in the mid half of the table to now being third.
And it's actually been a long time Manchester United actually experienced this level of progressive form.
That tells you
after Ferguson.
That tells you everything you need to know. They didn't even qualify for Europe this season. Not the Conference League, not the Europa League, not the Champions League. And they were struggling, who finished 15 and 16 with Tottenham that last season. So this is a very, very massive improvement under Michael Carrick, and it's very, very commendable.
All right, thank you so much, Maduka, for that, and thank you so much for joining us today on the. I call this the special, special sports cafe because ideally we're not supposed to be having sports cafe on a Thursday, but tomorrow we're coming back hotter and stronger. We're going to talk about fixtures over the weekend. All right, don't touch the dial and remain glued to your radio. This is still 106.9 FM Go in the radio, and this is where we'll be drawing the curtain on Sports Cafe today. Thank you so much, Maduka, for today.
Thank you, Chike.
All right, so remember you can always join us live on YouTube at Go in the Radio 106.9 FM and on Facebook at 106.9 Go in the radio. Thank you so much for joining us. See you same time tomorrow. Bye bye.